Oh, what a lovely tan you've got, you must be thinking. Thank you. Is it from Santorini? No, actually, this is from a 2-day trip to Faro, Portugal 3 months ago. Was it really sunny, you ask? No, it was very cloudy the entire time we were there. But I still managed to burn my shoulders and back so bad. I ended up with heat exhaustion and spent 3 days in bed. I couldn't eat, I couldn't sleep, and I couldn't cook, which was a very weird side effect. Possibly unrelated. So I went to Faro, Portugal for a sunny little escape, and this is what I learned. The sun is aggressive, the breeze is deceptively cold, and explaining cross-contamination in a language that you don't speak is a team sport. And the food? 110% out of 10. Surprisingly incredible, even for a gluten-free celiac like me. Let's start with breakfast at Astor Café at Brunch, where I had crispy bacon and scrambled eggs. It was pretty much the only thing I could have, but still nice. They also did have this amazing corn cake, which was naturally gluten-free, so obviously I had to have it. It was cozy, calm, tucked away from the main buzz of the city. I wasn't expecting much for breakfast, but I was pleasantly surprised by this cafe. What can I say? Highly recommend starting your morning in Faro here. And loading up on the SPF, which I did not. SPF status, forgot, but we were vibing. For lunch we headed to Café Zé-Zé on Faro Beach, which was lovely. We had the salty air, the golden light, and the kind of breeze that feels refreshing, but is secretly trying to plot to kill you and burn you alive. I had my second omelette of the day. The food does get better, just stick with it. Crispy chips and tuna and tomato salad. There is just something about fresh, natural ingredients that are grown in that country that they don't have to do a lot with them, you know? And they just full of flavour and they just taste delicious, and something we don't really get in the UK very often. But this tuna and tomato salad, wow. It was all naturally gluten-free, but getting that confirmed took some effort. But thanks to my partner's Spanish, a Portuguese translator, and a lot of hand gestures, that's fryer, we got there in the end. A true team effort to avoid gluten, and it worked. Dinner that night was at Do Pinto, and that's where I had my third omelette of the day. I'm just kidding. This is where I had the best seafood stew of my life. We had prawns, we had clams for days. This flaky whitefish, no idea what it was. It just said whitefish on the menu. It was swimming in this rich tomato broth. It was the kind of food that just hugs your soul, you know? Deeply poetic. The stew was gluten-free, tons of flavour, but the clams were the highlight of the dish. The wine that was paired with it was just perfect. And it was just a never-ending bowl of seafood. There was just 2 of us and we struggled to finish it. Every time we thought we were done, we'd just find more clams in the bottom of the bowl. Just beautiful. Shoulders slightly glowing. I was starting to look like one of these. Did you have one of these as a kid? We had breakfast in our Airbnb the next morning, so the next meal was lunch at Sal Mare. Another beachside spot where the vibes were laid back and the salad was a salad, but a good one, I have to say. I had the gluten-free chicken Caesar salad, grilled chicken, crispy lettuce, and a creamy white dressing. Super fresh, not too heavy, perfect light bite. They did also have poke bowls, I just decided to go for the salad. We chilled in a cabana on the beach for a while, but at this point my shoulders were red, raw from the sun. I was stuck under the umbrella with a shirt on the entire time. And then there was stew. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. My final dinner in Faro, and without a doubt, the best food I've ever had in my life. I know I say that a lot, but I mean it this time. This is the best food I've ever had. On a scale of never wanting to eat there ever again, to jumping on an early morning flight, taking unpaid leave, and risk getting burnt to death again, just so I can eat at this restaurant one more time, I would say it would be somewhere in the middle. I'm joking. I would fly back there tomorrow. We started with chicken arepa, which was so good, it made me question everything I thought I knew about chicken arepa. I didn't know they could be so fluffy and crispy and moist all at the same time. Then came a series of delicious gluten-free tapas. We had tuna, tempura broccoli, plantain. Everything was beautiful and so flavorful. And you could just tell that the chefs were so passionate about what they do. One of the chefs even came over to the table halfway through our meal, asked how everything was and whether we had any feedback. It just added that extra layer to the experience. The kitchen is also an open concept, so you can see exactly everything they're doing in the kitchen as you eat in. And then the dessert platter. I am not one for desserts normally, but the food up to this point was so good. I just had to see what they had in store for desserts. It all sounded amazing. We couldn't decide what to have, so we went for the chef's platter. A little bite of every single dessert on the menu. It was decadent. Now, you know it's good when I use words like decadent. Honestly, I think this restaurant needs to get a Michelin star. If you only go to one restaurant in Faro, go to this one. And the best thing about it? it's 99% gluten-free. If you haven't seen it already, I just posted a video where I spent a week in Santorini, Greece, and by just I mean about a month ago. I really need to get my shit together. Santorini is another fantastic place for celiacs, where again I had some of the best food I've ever had in my life. If you're traveling soon, stay safe. See you in the next one.